Ah, do you feel it? Spring is in the air. And that means the birds and the bees will soon be doing that thing Mom always promised she'd explain to me someday. It also means it's time to get that garden ready. And if you're like me, you don't want just any garden. You want a how about these melons neighbor garden. Today we've got 2 contestants ready to get their garden party started. They might just find themselves in some truly tough grit.
Looks a little like you're trying to hide something there, Shannon.
Me? No, I just knew that today we were going to be talking about garden preparation and, well, I just wanted to show what a green thumb I have.
I don't think that's exactly what they mean when they say that.
Oh, you mean this? No, this has nothing to do with gardening. No, I think those mittens I wore last winter were too tight. I haven't been able to feel this for months, and it makes hitchhiking so painful.
I bet. Maybe you spent hours on hands and knees weeding an enormous vegetable garden. Or maybe you had to fend off deer, rabbits, and other wild critters from helping themselves to your garden bounty.
Or maybe your wife is throwing a dinner party, and the only thing she trusts you with is a salad. Ooh, I shudder to think. Let us pause. At one time or another, we've all found ourselves in a big pile of, you guessed it, tough grit. That's where we come in. I'm Shannon Riley.
And I'm Caleb Regan. Today, we're not only going to show you how to do a project, we're going to give you the tools to help you get it done right the first time.
And we're going to throw in a little competition between rural neighbors, just for some fun. Rural neighbors who are nice people. People who won't make fun of you for the size of your produce. Nice people like our 2 contestants. Here to get their hands gritty this week are our 2 contestants. Let's meet them.
Our first contestant is Scott Jancy, raised in Phoenix, Arizona. Scott's a teacher and soccer coach with carpentry and construction experience, and his wife makes him do all the yard work.
I don't know about this guy. I took him to a salad bar and he ordered a gin and tonic.
And contestant 2 is Clint Gorton, all the way from Ottawa, Kansas. Clint grew up on 10 acres near Ottawa, helping his folks with all their gardening and livestock.
Here's a guy who knows all about gardens. He worked his way through college as a scarecrow.
Gentlemen, welcome to Tough Grit.
Prepare yourselves, friends, because your project today is a shocking and dirty one. Your Tough Grit challenge is tilling a garden and installing an electric perimeter fence.
We've marked off 2 areas where we plan to do the planting. The first thing you'll do is turn the soil to make the area suitable for a luscious garden.
Next, you'll build a lightweight solar-powered electric perimeter fence.
You'll want to make it sturdy enough to keep out any unwanted critters that might be eyeing your carrots and tomatoes for their own dinner table.
And I mean a sturdy fence, like the kind my wife's daddy built right after I moved to town. But don't worry. You won't have to face this challenge alone. Our experts are here to help you turn the soil, but not to fence you in.
For Team Grit, as always, we have the ever helpful and wise Hank Will, editor-in-chief of Grit Magazine.
Hank may look like a meat and potatoes guy, but he knows that a well-balanced meal includes lots of greens to keep him regular.
For Team Tractor Supply, our guest expert today is Jessica Dowdy, manager of the Tractor Supply Company store in Georgetown, Kentucky.
She must know a lot about digging in the garden. So far, she's made me go for coffee 3 times. Our experts will give you advice and coach you on the best way to complete your project. Now, whoever completes their project the best in terms of our 3 categories of efficiency, accuracy, and safety will win up to a $1,000 gift card from Tractor Supply Company.
For today's project, our contestants will be using everything from garden forks to walk-behind self-propelled Cub Cadet rototillers. They'll also use T-post drivers to install a solar-powered electric fence from Zariba, and of course, safety equipment like gloves, eye, and ear protection.
Wow, I could really use that garden fork the next time I'm eating spaghetti. I might get more of the food in my mouth that way.
Now on to our experts for some information on how to get started with our tilling.
So Scott, the traditional way for turning the soil is with a round-handed shovel or a square-ended spade or what have you. Basically what you do is you take a good stab in the soil, you lift it up, turn it over, kind of break up the clods, and you can shove it back into the hole. What this does is it breaks up any sort of hard, compacted soil. It also exposes roots and loosens the weeds, sort of breaks up their toehold in the garden. And all that will break down and actually add additional organic matter and make it a healthier spot.
Clint, another popular garden tool is actually the garden fork. Now you can use this a lot the same way you do a shovel. Just step it deeply into the soil and pull it back out. And as the tines go in and out, it's going to loosen and aerate, so it helps with the structure of the soil. And then as you're going along, you're going to see clumps of weeds. If you just go ahead and pull those out and discard them, it's going to help with the amount of weeds you have to deal with later.
So Scott, if you've got a larger area to turn, a powered rototiller can come in really handy. A couple of things you need to know about operating this piece of equipment. First of all, you want to be sure that there's no debris, no rocks, big sticks or those kinds of things in the garden. You should clear those out first. If the tines of the tiller hit them, there's a chance it could jump and you could actually get hurt. You also want to check the area, be sure that there's no pets, no other people that could possibly get either run over or have something get thrown at them from the tiller. And you also want to be sure that you've got good eye and ear protection. You should be wearing gloves, and most importantly, you need to have boots. Steel toes wouldn't hurt at all.
Before you even get started tilling, you're always going to want to check the level of the gas and then the oil. As far as safety goes, you're going to want to check the shield that goes around the tines. That keeps anything from being thrown back at you. Also, check the quality of the belt and the clutch cable to make sure everything's in running order before you get started. As far as the depth of the tilling, you've got this gauge back here you can move up and down as a lever, and that'll adjust how far it digs into the soil.
Scott, you can also use a tiller to break fresh sod if you're wanting to install a new garden bed. In that particular case, you definitely want to set the depth to about 1 inch. It'd be about the first notch on this lever. Before you go, you want to sort of move very slowly because the tiller will have a likelihood of grabbing that sod, and you could have it lurch forward or it could bounce and you could get hurt.
Now, anytime the soil is uncultivated, you're going to want to use the reverse tines. To do that, you're going to squeeze the reverse tine lever, squeeze the clutch here, and then that also works anytime you want to stop the tiller, just release it and it'll stop. If it's already cultivated or soft, then you're just going to use the forward tines. And then as far as moving the tiller in general, always make sure you're using the tires and not the tines. That'll avoid damage on the tiller.
And then when you're all done, you want to throttle the machine down and then just move the lever to the off position to shut it off.
For the first part of our challenge, each team will turn an area of soil to prepare it for the garden.
Each contestant will first use a shovel to make one pass the width of the garden area, and then a second pass with the garden fork. Then it's on to the rototiller for the rest of the way. We'll be judging primarily on efficiency and speed. Whoever finishes first wins. In the event of a tie, it'll come down to thoroughness and accuracy. Whoever works their plot the best will win.
Now, naturally, we want them to work safely. Good luck, everyone.
Ready, set, go!
Well, I dig how they jumped right into that.
There you go.
So just flip it over in the flip it over in the spot. Yeah.
You're digging it up, but just flip it right over. Flip it right over.
Perfect. That's it. You got the rhythm.
Oh, you're almost there. Yeah, you're going so much faster than him. We're good. Yeah, there you go. Because that's aerating the soil, so just use it just like the shovel.
Okay, and then go ahead and kind of chop up some of those clods. Yeah. Yep. There you go.
I'll be judging this challenge based on speed. Who gets it done first? But if there's a tie, it'll come down to whose area looks best when it's all said and done.
And I'll be standing by the side with a huge bowl of ranch dressing, just waiting for those free veggies.
You're almost there. A couple more.
Good. All the way to the edge. Good, you're good to go.
They're ready to switch to the rototiller already.
You got a much nicer looking seed there.
There you go. Put your ear things on.
Okay, one more. That's good. That's good. Okay, put your ears on.
And here goes the second rototiller ready to fire up. But Clint's already got the jump on the gun. As our contestants plow their way through their first challenge, we're going to take a break. When we come back to Tough Grit, we'll find out which contestant turned the most sod and which contestant ends up being the star of the sod story. Stay tuned.
Once your garden soil's in good shape, you can think about planting. Actually, you should have thought about planting some crops like tomatoes about 6 weeks ago. And I don't mean in the garden. Warm season crops like tomatoes require several months to mature and produce fruit. Even if you live in the Midwest and can expect 7 or 8 frost-free growing months, you really need to start those jalapeno peppers indoors. It's really easy. 4 to 6 weeks before the last frost date for your area, collect a bunch of containers, source some quality potting soil or seed starting mix, fill them up, put a couple of seeds in each, and then most importantly, you want to water them thoroughly and gently. Once they're watered, go ahead and set those plants on a well-lit windowsill, under a grow light, or in a heated greenhouse. In a week or so, seedlings will start to appear. Planting starts is easy, but you've got to harden them off before you can actually let them live outdoors. This is accomplished by moving the plants to a protected area outdoors for a couple of hours a day, gradually increasing the time of exposure. Be sure to avoid windy full sun sites until your plants can withstand a whole day in their protected area. Once you get the hang of starting your plants from seeds, you'll be able to reap the rewards of thousands of different vegetable varieties.
Welcome back to Tough Grit. Our hard-working contestants are getting ready to switch from the hand-tilling to the rototiller.
We'll soon see which contestant has turned the most earth the quickest and whose area is relatively free of roots and debris.
Remember to look at that stake. There you go, drop it. There you go. I'll try to point you one way or the other.
You can't go terribly fast with a rototiller. Oh, look at that determination on Scott's face.
Neck and neck, just like a couple of snails. All the way to the line.
All right, pop it up and spin it around.
Oh, now they're going on the outside edge. Wow, Scott's going to stay working side by side. And it looks like he's pulling out ahead.
Pop it up and spin it around.
Well, look at that, Scott has pulled out ahead.
Yep, drop her down. Perfect, perfect.
Make sure you sink it all the way to the end.
Done.
Good. Done.
Yep. Put her down now.
Good job.
Great job, everybody. Great job.
Come on in here, guys.
Congratulations. I couldn't wait till it was over. All right, what'd you think, Caleb?
Both these beds are thoroughly tilled. You guys did a great job. Scott, you finished first. You just won yourself a $500 gift card to Tractor Supply Company.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Scott. What do you owe your victory to?
Just perseverance.
Oh, good for you. And Clint, what happened, man?
At the end, I decided to need another pass and just came up short.
Well, next time, try cheating. That's what I do when I play Candyland with my kids.
And now we got both these garden plots tilled. It's time to protect our hard work from chickens, rabbits, and other hungry, unwanted creatures.
So don't go away. When we return, we'll see which one of our contestants will come away with another $500 gift card from Tractor Supply Company, and which will be shocked and defenseless. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Tough Grit. Our contestants have prepared the ground for a garden area and are getting ready to install a solar-powered perimeter fence.
Now let's learn more about perimeter fence installation from our experts, Hank and Jessica.
Scott, when the primary purpose of your garden fence is to keep animal pests out, it's really important to know what those pests are to understand what kind of a fence you might build. Turns out electric fencing is one of the most versatile and flexible forms of fencing, and it's easy to install.
Now the downside to an electric fence is that it doesn't deter burrowing pests like a groundhog or a pocket gopher. To do something about those, you're going to need to bury some poultry netting or hardware cloth underneath, flaring out from the fence. How deep it is depends on what kind of creature you're trying to keep out.
Today our goal is to build a 3-strand electric fence to help the landowner keep his chickens and other unwanted pests out of the garden. The first step in that process is to place a T-post and then install the driver on top of it like so. And then it's simply a matter of getting good footing and hammering that post home. Once we've got the anchor posts installed, the next step is to install terminal insulators. Essentially what you do is you take a loop of wire and you run it through one of the tracks on the insulator, take it and twist it back on itself, and then slide it down the T-post to the location where you need it, and we're going at 6 inches, 12 inches, and 18 inches. And to tighten it, you just simply twist the insulator until you're sure that the piece will be held in place by the nubs on the T-post.
Now we can start installing the poly wire. We're going to wrap it around the insulator and then tie it in a square knot. Now when that's done, we'll run it to the rest of the insulators on the T-post and pull it tight and then tie it off again at the last terminal insulator. Once we've got all those installed, we can run step-in posts in between to help support the fence.
We can close any gaps with a spring gate. Essentially we hook one end to the insulator on this particular T-post, and then we hook it up on a T-post on the other side like this.
Now, as soon as that's touching, the circuit's closed and it is electrified. As soon as we open the gate, the circuit's going to be open and it will no longer be electrified.
Now it's time for challenge number 2. Our contestants in this challenge have to work with their coaches to set up a perimeter fence around our garden plot.
All the terminal insulators are in place and the ground rod's installed. Also, the solar charged battery is ready for use. Contestants now have to bang their final 2 T-posts home, stretch the wire, install their step-in posts, and connect it all to electricity. The first contestant to deliver a charge wins the second challenge. Experts can help, but only contestants can do the work. Good luck, everyone.
Ready, set, go.
So the first thing you want to do is slide it through the insulator.
Yeah, just go right through there. You just got to get one good knot.
Not too long. Go ahead and make like 2 half hitches or a square knot. Yeah, through the loop. Yep, through the hole. Nice and taut. Yeah, okay.
You gonna take your driver?
Electric poly wire hooked up to this first insulator.
Here they come.
Bring her clear down to the other corner.
All right, watch that post.
Unspooling it clear down to the corner post.
Got to make a nice long line.
This spool's not behaving properly.
Well, these spools, they're such a pain.
Team Tractor Supply also having a little trouble with those spools. Now he's got it fixed.
If that gets tangled, you just take the stick out.
All right, perfect. Okay, so around the outside. Okay, now stop. Take one of these clip insulators. Okay, hook it right about there.
All right, next one about 12 inches. Should be about 6, 12, and 18.
Okay, now see if you can smack that piece to hook. Okay.
Wire's on his first corner.
All right, now we're gonna tie this off and head back around.
Keep pulling, get it about as tight as you feel. Yep. And then try to hold it and tie one of those knots.
All right, don't forget your spool.
And the bottom strand's in place.
Put it on the inside of the wire and turn it so the nubs are out.
All right, make sure the nubs are facing out.
Time to pound the first post.
Doing good.
So who's gonna walk away with another $500 gift card from Tractor Supply Company? And who's gonna have to settle for just having an electric personality? Find out when we return.
If you're serious about your crops or garden, one essential piece of equipment is the rotary tiller. The tiller will save you more sweat and headache than any other garden device. Instead of shoveling in the hot sun for hours, you can walk behind your tiller and let its blades pulverize and stir even the toughest topsoil. In addition to saving you work, tilling offers the benefit of increased aeration for your soil, which will help your plants grow bigger and healthier. You can find a tiller to meet every need, from the smallest compact tillers, ideal for tight spaces, to true commercial-grade tractor-driven heavyweights that attach to a 3-point hitch. You can even buy a small tiller head that attaches to the quick connect on popular brands of string trimmers. Larger, more elaborate rear tine tillers are often self-propelled and offer a reverse gear to allow maneuvering in tight spaces. While larger machines may cost a bit more, they're well worth it for the larger garden. Simpler front tine and mid tine models are often pulled along by the turning blades themselves. These are very effective solutions for mid-sized gardens. Purchasing a quality machine the first time, like the Cub Cadet RT45 we're using today, will save you time and money in the end, and you'll have the satisfaction of knowing you got the job done right.
We're in the final stretch of installing our electric perimeter fence around these gardens, and the competition is tight.
Well, not as tight as the fence my father-in-law built, but I got through that sucker.
All right, that's good. That's
First
good.
T-post in.
All right, so install the lower, and then let's do all 3 of them.
And then we're gonna do 6, 12, and 18 again.
It's got to hook on this side first, yeah.
There you go.
Trying to find his rhythm for those T-post clips.
And wire number 2 is being strung. He didn't attach that, though.
Now he's got the hang of those things.
Dink it to get it in there. Perfect. Okay, grab the pounder.
On to his second T-post.
Come on, Clay.
Keep your breath, turn it around, turn the post around. Yep, right there, perfect.
Oh, look at this. We're back home to the first post.
Perfect. All right, so same deal. Let's put one here.
All right, leave enough space to tie it.
Scott moving a lot quicker on those T-post clips with his second post.
Just tie a good square knot.
Thankfully, the prep crew already connected all those insulators together and hooked it to the solar charged battery, so everything's in place.
All right, and one here, yep. We're gonna do 2 in between each T-post.
This is also handy if he gets lost. He'll be able to follow the drop post back home.
This time, pause at the next T-post. slip the wire through as you go by.
Here?
Yep.
And finally, the third wire is about to be attached.
Okay, now tie the next one on.
And now, the step-in post. Well, what do you know? He's a two-stepper.
Yep. Okay, cool. And around the corner. Whoa! That daggone stick.
4 more step-ins.
Down to the wire.
Now we gotta go to the step-in post. We can just leave that here.
Let's turn her on.
Go, Clint, go.
Oh, yeah, that's on. Woo! Wow, now that was a shocking challenge. What did you think there, Caleb?
That was a great job by both teams. We got us a good, nice perimeter fence built. Clint, you just finished in a little quicker time. Just won yourself a $500 gift card to Tractor Supply Company.
Awesome.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. And Scott, you won the first competition, so you too win a $500 gift card to Tractor Supply Company.
Fantastic.
What are you going to get with your winnings?
Looks like a lot of dog food.
That's a lucky dog. And how about you, sir? What are you going to get with your winnings?
Whatever looks good.
Well, I'm sorry, I'm not for sale. But if you think you have the rule knowledge to compete on Tough Grit, here's how you can be part of the Rule America Challenge.
To sign up, go to toughgrit.com and click on the I Can Do That button, or look for the advertisement in Grit Magazine. Don't wait, sign up today. Now you know almost everything you need to know about preparing ground for a garden area and installing a perimeter fence to keep those unwanted critters out. And if you'd like to learn more, visit toughgrit.com. Glad you could join us. Hope to see you next time.
And whether you've got a green thumb or just really tight mittens, you can have the best garden in town. I'm Shannon Riley.
I'm Caleb Regan.
And when you see us coming, you know you're in Tough Grit.